Hi, this is Brian McHenry of McHenry Software. This is a quick overview of the 2.75 update that has now been posted up. The update is in 3 files, and the reason for those 3 files is because now that we're using cloud files and getting higher resolution models, we thought by breaking it up into 3 separate components will provide people with problems with their disk space, etc., the ability to just download the update of the actual graphics programs, but then the demos 3D, you can either download them all or you can download individual demos, and we'll talk about how you get to that in a moment. And then also we have the 3D models where we have a repository already, but you can, instead of updating all the models to have everything, you can just update individual models. What we're looking here again is on a cloud file. And one of the things you're going to notice with most of the demos, if you do download the demos, trying to send them as already with things run, you can rerun them, etc. But they also all mainly use what's called a, or what we call a tracking camera. And you notice up here on the top that what I've highlighted, when you click on that, it shows you there's these different tracking cameras, and you can walk through them and see the different views, and then you can create your own. And there's a video out there on tracking cameras. A lot of you are used to starting in the grid mode. We're going to try to get most everyone to start in the 3D graphics mode because it's very easy to go out to grid mode. To go out to grid mode, you see right here, there's the classic grid mode. You just double click on that and it brings up the grid mode, and you can do anything and everything that you wanted. And then to go back to graphics, you click here and you see how quickly it comes. I've done no time lapse or anything. One of the points that we've made in the input is there are 2 shortcuts now, one msmac3D and the m3D graphics. msmac3D starts up in the classic grid mode, m3D graphics starts up in the 3D graphics. We recommend and give the instructions on how you right click on that and you say pin it to the taskbar, and then on the bottom of your screen, I'm not showing the whole screen just because it takes up too much space, you would then have an ability to start this up from there. And continuing back to 3D graphics, a couple things to mention. Again, that you can easily go to the classic msmac3D. You can run the 2D graphics or the 2D animation for those of you that have been with us for a while. Over here on the left, we have the project menu. The top item is for opening, new. Second item is new again. Clone, which we've moved here to, and you can also do it from the file menu in the grid mode. Backup, to create backups. Restore, which is one of the ways when you download all those demos, and we will be putting out new demos too. You just download it and then you click on that zip file and restore it. And then we also just a general browser. When you double click up here to go to the open, you see there are a number of choices. You have new, then recent, which will list the recent projects you've looked at, then parents folders, and this is where you can put any folder that you want to access a project menu from. We also have the demos 3D, which if you downloaded the full installation will have all of them, or it may not have all of them. There's also the 2D, but we would caution against opening a 2D from 3D, because when you open a 2D from 3D, it's going to ask you for the models, and then you'll have to pick models to be for each demo 3D. You basically should only do these projects from your 2D grid, the grid mode, which you can either exit from here to go to classic or start up in the 2D grid. A couple other enhancements for bringing in ground point cloud items. Obviously you can put in a blank terrain. You can bring in images. The capability of images, just to mention quickly, is you can go over to settings, or on the ground settings, 16K, default is 4000. You can put it up to as large as you want or need. Obviously the larger, the slower it may take. This is to go to Google Maps, which has been enhanced a little bit. Here's terrain from DXF, point clouds, E57, and also keep them below 2 gigs. At some point we'll move to 64-bit, but at this point we like the idea of cloud computing for getting information, but then you need to get it down to a manageable size, because I'm not sure how many of you actually work with cloud files, but they are a bear to work with and really bog down your computer. So we basically simplify them and just get the surface information that we need, as you see here, that just the general surface information. We also have meshes, and if you are interested in finding out about that, I will probably post up something soon, or email me to remind me to do that. Then another important thing is the manage ground visibility. You can bring in multiple grounds and turn them on and off. For example, I guess in this one, we'll take this car that's moving down here, and I'm going to insert just a ground, and I'll make this ground only 20 by 20. Now it puts that at the middle. So now I want to move it. I'm going to make a little ramp that this car is going to see, just to show you how quick and easy it is, and then how you can turn it on and off. So we move this. You notice there is a three-dimensional aspect. Oh, we'll have it right here. And let's go ahead and then we click on Edit Elevation. And we'll just put 4 points. Those will have 0, and then these will make, oops, let's go ahead and delete that point. I clicked it twice. Edit point. Make this a 5-foot ramp. Now we go ahead and say make all triangles. We apply. See, it's going to be a little ramp, and you can change the color of that ramp, etc. But now when we run the simulation, it's not going that fast, so it just falls off. Now, point of doing this is what I can do is now, let's just say I'm running some tests, I can turn that off. Now, once we've checked that off, you also want to double check. If you click on the ground over here to the right, you see that it shows ground 1, ground 2, and again, ground 2 you can turn on and off. So obviously if we turn that off and we rerun, you see it doesn't see it. A couple other things when you're doing charts. You notice we've added in addition, the up-down arrows, you can also manually set it by clicking here, and let's just say I only wanted to do to 2 seconds. And let's say I only wanted this to be from a half a second. That's a good option to have to quickly allow manipulation of charts. Same for these. Different start end times. And one other important thing, when you first start up your My First Project, it's a pared down version that we do with the main implementation. As you see, there's no houses, no buildings, no trees. Online, we have the ability to go ahead and get that. So if we go out to Help File, Help Documents, Getting Started, how to download individual demos, My First Project, you see it's 200 megs. Very simple. You go open link, save link as, and we're going to go ahead and save it to msmac3D projects, My First Project. We save it. Up here in your right, I'm on Firefox, but just want to make it, I will speed this up. Because we're in My First Project, let's open up any other project. Go to site distance. Now when we go restore, now we select all files, We can say restore and open. Project already exists. Do you want to delete and proceed? Now it's loading it up. Now you see the houses and all the other things come in. That's how simple it is to bring in projects. I guess the main point is make sure you're not in the project that you're restoring, because it can't overwrite it. It requires you to rename it. And that's about it. There's a number of other enhancements in there. We hope you take the time to take a look at the Getting Started manual. And please let us know if you have any questions, any things you'd like changed, additions, etc. Thank you for watching.